So in this video, I'm going to be showing you why AI made marketing worse for coaches, agencies, anyone who sells high ticket, and what actually works now. Because the problem is with all these things like ManyChat, with VSL funnels, with fake live webinars, and even AI content is people are wondering like what's real anymore. And these strategies, they only work if you have extremely high volume, if you have a personal brand of hundreds of thousands of followers. And if that's you, then you don't have to watch this video. This isn't for you. These things will work. But if you don't have multiple hundreds of thousands of followers, this isn't going to work, because the whole thing with these strategies is they only work with high volume and they deliver low conversions. But mathematically, people have worked out that the lower conversions with these is higher than the solution. The solution for anyone who's not famous is by using one-to-one human connection, because this is what that has kind of shattered. It's shattered the humanity, that aspect of it, like people resonating, respecting, viewing you as authentic. That's what all these different AI and like software tools have shattered. And so in marketing, you need to replicate one-to-one human connection, and people need to think that they're talking to you. They need to feel that they actually know you. And so the way we do this is we leverage one-to-one human connection with an appointment setter. Okay, so with an appointment setter, you don't need a lot of volume. You just need but it will give you a ton of conversions essentially. So you don't need a ton of volume, it'll give you a ton of conversions. But with the other strategies, you need a ton of volume and you'll get just a few conversions. So here's how it actually works. So the first step is we run CRA ads. Now, CRA ads, if you're not famous, is the best strategy to use because it simply gets you followers. It emotionally triggers people to take an action, and that action is following you. The reason why we want people to follow you is because it's low commitment, it's a low cost, and it's very long term, right? People can be following you for such a long time, getting nurtured, all these things, and it doesn't cost them anything, and it barely costs you anything. It'll probably cost you about $1. So then how do we actually make an ad that emotionally triggers people to take an action? Well, I've kind of synthesized it into a framework which I'm going to show you, which you too can use. Okay, so first step is the hook. You have literally like a second to capture attention. Now, if you want to learn how to make good hooks, you simply need to use these right here. So these things are literally overpowered to make hooks with. All right, you can make any hook with it and it will literally capture so much attention, because it's literally like proven in human nature that if you kind of make a hook using one of these things, it will perform, because this is what humans are like programmed to focus on and put their attention into. So the best hooks always use one or more of those, and it goes for ads as well. Like an ad should have one or more of those things. After you've captured their attention, you need to talk about their problems, their pain points, and then you want to agitate it. So problems are like, what they're struggling with, what's causing them pain. And then agitation is, digging the knife deeper into the wound. It's making it feel permanent and trapping. And from there, we want to come in with the mid-roll call to action and the solution. So I've actually found a way where you can kind of bind these into one, where you have, if that sounds like you, then take this action where I'll show you or where I'll give you, and then you start describing the solution. You have like your unique mechanism, of course, you have like your benefits, like the actual benefits of the mechanism, and then of course the desired outcome, like the end outcome. That's really important. So you have, you have benefits and then you have outcome. Okay, from there, you want to kind of back it up with proof, because this here could all be fluff, it could be fake. So you want to have client results, and you want to do 3. The number 3 is really important in marketing, because that's what the human brain is really programmed to remember, 3 to 5. But I wouldn't do 5 because it's bad for attention. And from there, we have a final call to action. I call this an emotional identity-based call to action, where we essentially structure it in a way where if people don't take the action, then they're kind of betraying their identity, the person they want to be. So how do we do this? We say, if you're sick of their biggest pain point and you actually want their desired outcome, then take this action where I'll show you this, this, and this for 100% free. And it's a no-brainer. And so the reason why it works so well with these ads where we get followers is it's like, so if you're tired of XYZ and you actually want this desired outcome, then go to my profile and drop me a follow where I'll show you this, this, and this for 100% free. And you kind of like listing out, when I say this, you're kind of listing out, the different benefits. So it's a complete no-brainer in their eyes to take the action. All right. So next up, you need to understand the emotion. The emotion is one of the most important parts of these ads. And the reason why is because emotion grabs attention. This is another aspect of creating a hook, right? Emotion also bypasses skepticism. It bypasses the logical part of the brain, which makes people need to really think if this is a good decision to follow this person. But if we use the emotions and of course, like coupled with such a low commitment, low ask, it's a complete no-brainer. Also, emotions make people take action because most people know what to do. They just don't feel enough pain, urgency, or desire to do it, right? If you sleep in, I slept in this morning and, I was thinking about it. If I had a flight to catch, I wouldn't have slept in because there was that emotion, there was that urgency to get up. But this morning, it was cold, didn't really have anything on the agenda. It was not really a busy day. So I slept in a little bit. People usually justify emotionally driven decisions with logic later, right? Because you don't buy a Ferrari because it's an investment or it makes sense, or you say it holds value. Well, it's just like a status thing, and that's an emotion driven purchase, not necessarily a bad one though. From there, these people follow 5 to 25% click through. They follow you, which is like a 30% follow rate, and then they're in the content ecosystem. The content ecosystem is where they're seeing your reels, your stories, your page setup, your YouTube content, your DMs. You can literally direct message people, send them voice notes. I'll get into all that in a moment. But the whole point of this is what you can convey through these things. You can convey value, valuable information. You can show, case studies, social proof. You can show your personal story, your personal results, and there's all these different things you can convey through all these nurture assets. And the best part is that it's on repeat. It's not a one-time thing. It's literally a cycle where people are just seeing these constantly, right? They're seeing your reels, daily. If you're one of my followers or one of my subscribers, you're seeing my YouTube content every single day. I literally post on here every single day, right? And these people are also seeing your daily stories, okay? They're seeing your YouTube content, and if you're direct messaging them, and I'll get into that in a second, they'll be seeing those. You can follow up with them. And so it's an overpowered landing page that people don't see once, they don't see twice, they see indefinitely, and it allows you to actually connect to them, which is where, I come here, where if we message everyone who follows us, we can have 50% of those people reply, okay? And if 50% of those people reply, it allows us to send them voice notes, videos and photos, follow-up messages. It's one-to-one, and you can even call them. And as I was saying earlier, leverage one-to-one connection, because this is one-to-one connection right here. And we can have an appointment setter leverage that for us, where they can send pre-recorded voice notes to people, okay? It's completely overpowered when it comes to like the one-to-one aspect, right? You can use M4A files, which can just be dragged and dropped in an Instagram chat from your computer, and they play as normal voice notes. You can have, pre-filmed videos and photos to send people if they ask if this is a setter. You can follow up with people indefinitely. You can use one-to-one, you can call. And I'm gonna let you guys in on a little teaser here. I've been behind the scenes working on an AI appointment setting tool where when the flow starts, it literally sounds exactly like a human. It follows up with people, never misses a follow-up, doesn't need to be motivated, works 24/7. The USPs on this thing are insane. It's going to be a while until that's ready, but soon AI will leverage human connection, which is a funny, it's almost the opposite of what I've been talking about, but it is just overpowered, okay? So it allows us to do all these things at scale. It allows us to leverage human connection at scale. So how do you get an appointment setter? Post a story, you can get on an interview with them, you can onboard the one you want to choose, build a setting flow, then start the ramp up phase, which is a 5-day phase where you're on calls with them, you're monitoring their work, you're reviewing their conversations, you're making sure they're hitting numbers, and then you just want to continue to monitor them. So this strategy is the best way to scale in 2025 and beyond because of these overused marketing tactics that have just put a bad taste in people's mouths. So this strategy is going to make you a lot of money. It's making me a lot of money. I'm 16 years old, for context. My business is doing upwards of 50K a month. This might be my first 100K a month. So if you want to kind of watch the journey, watch my daily videos, see where I get to before, even when I turn 18, see where I get to then drop me a subscribe. I'll be making daily videos like this with even more value for you. And yeah, ton of stuff coming along as well. Like the AI appointment setting tool, also got an AI ad scripting thing coming along. Not just like GPTs, but like real things. So they take a lot of time. But see you guys in the next one. Appreciate you as always, and peace.